Megan here. I hope everyone had a phenomenal and really happy weekend. I know Miss Jackie, Miss Jamie, and myself really enjoyed getting to read with you and sing with you about your pets last week. But this week we're going to be talking about flowers. I think it's perfect timing since everything is starting to bloom and the flowers are coming out. It's so beautiful. I hope everyone gets to spend a little time outside and enjoy it. I'm going to start off with a little rhyme called Be a Seed. We're going to be using our hands and our arms quite a bit. Be a seed, small and round, sprout, sprout, sprout up from the ground. Shake your leaves for all to see. Stretch your arms up, you're a tree. Do you guys want to do it one more time? I think so too. Be a seed, small and round, sprout, sprout, sprout up from the ground. Shake your leaves for all to see. Stretch your arms up, you're a tree. Thanks guys for singing with me. Next up, I'm going to be reading a book. I want to give a little shout out to Floris Books for letting me read Cherry Blossom and Paper Planes by Jeff Aerts. Do you guys see the cherry blossoms? It's a beautiful cover. I'm really excited to read this to you. These are dandelions. I bet you guys see a lot of dandelions out in your gardens, out in your yards. They're beautiful and they're so much fun when you can blow on them. You guys can make a wish. Some friends are more than friends. They grow like twin cherries from the same stem, just like Dina and Aiden. Who knew the other one was thinking without even talking? This is Dina and Aiden. Do you guys see the little kitty cat? It looks like they're on a farm. Aiden and Dina lived on a farm. Dina lived at the top of the hill, and Aiden lived at the bottom of the hill. Aiden's mother worked on the farm picking fruit. The hillsides were covered with fruit trees, peaches and plums, apricots and cherries, especially cherries, sweet black fruit, sour red fruit, and yellow fruit with a shy pink blush. We have some cherries right here. It looks like we have some apricots here and some peaches here. Dina and Aiden liked to help on the farm. For every cherry they picked, they ate one too. They drew on each other's cheeks with cherry juice. Aiden was as agile as a cat. He swung gracefully from branch to branch. Dina climbed carefully with a bag in each hand. One for the cherries, one for the pets. Have you guys ever had cherries? They're one of my favorite fruits. Dina and Aiden's special game was planting cherry pits in the village, in cracks and crevices between paving stones and green beside the cafe, and the road outside the bakery. The juiciest cherries will grow here one day, said Dina, smiling, and when Dina smiled, Aiden's eyes smiled with her. One afternoon, Dina and Aiden lay on the grass, looking up at the cherry tree sky. Mama wants a different job, said Aiden, in the city. Dina held her breath and asked, couldn't she do a different job here? Aiden said, we're moving next week. Will you ever come back, said Dina. Mama says leaving is like coming back, sighed Aiden. Just the other way around. Dina shrugged her shoulders. I hate the other way around. Do you guys see the dandelions again? week went by. Dina and Aiden sat in a cherry tree back to back. "Come down, Aiden," his mother called. "It's time to go." Dina gave Aiden her big bag of cherry pits. "Self-picked and self-spat out," she said. Corey, Aiden's pet crow, hopped from his hand onto Dina's shoulder. "Give him your leftovers," Aiden said, "and he'll follow you everywhere." They waved goodbye. As her friend disappeared into the distance, Dina's summer felt long and lonely without Aiden to play with. Corey slept outside Dina's bedroom on the windowsill. He cawed happily when she woke up and flew alongside her when she cycled to school, but even that didn't make Dina feel any better. Aiden felt lonely too. From the balcony of his 10th floor apartment, he threw Dina's cherry pits as far as he could above the city. He watched them soar and fall, but they never flew further than the fountain across the road. He wished they could fly as all the way back to the farm, all the way back to Dina. Before long, it started to get colder, and Dina's father took her to the city to buy a new coat. "Perhaps we can visit Aiden while we're there," he said. Dina smiled. It took a long time to find Aiden's building. Dina looked carefully for the right bell to ring. They went up the elevator to the 10th floor. Aiden was sitting outside on the balcony wearing street clothes, wearing smart clothes, and his hair neatly combed. He looks different from the Aiden Dina knew, the boy with cherry juice cheeks. "Hi," he said. "Hi," Dina said back. For a moment they forgot everything. They had been waiting so long to tell each other. Then Aiden said, "Watch this." He folded a sheet of paper into a plane and wedged a few cherry pits between the wings. He threw the plane into the air. It floated high above the rooftops, swooping up and down on the breeze. The pits fell like autumn leaves around the city. Dina and Aiden turned to each other and smiled. Weeks passed, and the wind blew icy cold on the hillsides. Dina sat under the bare cherry tree. She hugged the new coat tightly around her and thought of Aiden far away in the city. Then she got on her bicycle. Do you see Dina on her bicycle? And cycled away from the quiet farmhouse, away from the empty caravan, towards Aiden. And along the way, she pushed cherry pits into the frozen ground until her bag was empty, and then she cycled back home. Ooh, it looks cold. It must be wintertime there. All winter long, high up in his apartment, Aiden folded paper gliders, jumbo jets, and stunt planes. When the wind was right, he launched them away from the fountain across the road, away from busy shopping streets towards Dina. And along the way, the pits drilled little holes in the snow like tiny footprints. At long last, the smell of spring arrived, fresh and green. Dina filled her lungs with it. Corey swooped and glided happily between cobweb clouds. Do you guys see Corey the crow? It looks like he's flying around. Dina climbed the top of the cherry tree, much higher than she usually dared, and she could see the city smoke rising in the soft spring sky. Aiden breathed the spring air too. As the city's rooftop glimmered in the sunshine, he had only one pit left now. Tucking it into a paper plane, he threw it towards the faraway hills. And as Dina looked towards Aiden, and Aiden looked towards Dina, a spark of true friendship flew between them, even though they were far apart. And the cherry trees started to bloom. Buds swelled until they burst into blossom. A carpet of flowers rolled out over the land from Dina's orchids, past villages and farms, and the outskirts of the city. Through busy shopping centers, past squares and fountains, right up to the doorstep of Aiden's building. Do you guys see how this cherry blossom tree? It's so beautiful. Mama, come and see, shouted Aiden. Well, would you look at that, she said, smiling as she saw the blanket of blossoms below. It's a trail, said Aiden, and it leads from here to... Where do you guys think it leads to? And Aiden's mother knew exactly where it led. She picked up the keys to their new car and said, a trail is meant to be followed, don't you think? Where do you think they're gonna go? We have some white cherry blossoms. We have some pink cherry blossoms. Lanterns glowed in the cherry trees that evening. Aiden and Dina sat back to back beneath a cherry blossom sky. And that is where they stayed all evening together like twin cherries of the same stem. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I would encourage you to spend some time outside this week if you can, enjoying the flowers and the sunshine. I hope everyone has a great week. Thank you. Bye, friends.